Okay, I'd like to welcome all of you to another one of our paid co-founder trainings that we do on Mondays and Thursdays every week at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here we are. It's Monday in the US, Tuesday over where I'm at. So let's see if some of you can do some math. I'll see if Hunter is sharp enough to represent you in some math here. So basically, the paid training that we're offering right now, Hunter, is like 0.00005 PFG. And when the price of PFG is $1 million, that's $50 of paid training that you're receiving in at $1 million right now. Obviously, we're below $1 million at the moment, but that's not going to be forever. We are going to do a transition, and when we transition, the price is going to be 4 million, okay, for PFG. Okay. That transition could happen within a couple of weeks. And then by the time the coins come out of your smart contract a year from now, back into your wallet, PFG should be over $10 million. That's what we fully expect it to be, because that's the third price target for the mature value of the coin for PFG. So if you're getting paid today, and basically you're going to just hold the coin anyway, all the way through till the end of next year, how much are you getting paid for training today if you calculate it based on the mature value of the $10 million price?
So with a $10 million valuation, then that would mean that we get $500 for training.
That's right. So what do you guys think about that? Today, you're coming to the training today. You're getting $500. Hey, Jeffrey, control your mute. Okay. All right. So you're coming into the training today and it's deferred for a year, but the value is there. It's a solid value because you're not going to sell these coins anyway. You're going through the transition. So this goes out to a year from now. Just to showing up to the training, you're getting $500 to come to a training. How do you guys feel about that?
Outstanding.
Pretty good.
Great.
Very cool.
That's amazing, right? Talk about leverage.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Awesome.
So this is the difference between looking at things from this far away to this far away, right? See, if we only look this close, we're thinking, oh, I'm only going to get $10 for training today based on the current value. Well, I think it's more like $5 actually, maybe 6, right? If we're only looking at this close, but if we just look at where the real value is, the real value is when it's probably more spendable. And when it's spendable, that's a year from now with the mature value, $500. Okay. We have to bring our vision out a little bit, guys. Okay. And see things for what they really, really are. Okay, we're leveraging time, by the way. That's what we're talking about. Time value of money. All right, so I want to show you guys something. I shared before I started the recording some of the stuff in the administrative area, showing that we've got close to 1,000 people who are, fully qualified for distribution, and they've been making payments, they're active and all that. Yet, so few have completed the task here that they should have. There's 172 that haven't said yes. Okay. What am I talking about? Well, if you go back to your account page, there's this giant banner. Guys, instead of sending out an email to you guys, which you probably won't read anyway, okay? We put a banner up. You're coming here every day anyway to make your payment. Am I right, guys? You come here every day to make your payment anyway.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
How can you miss this banner? How can you miss it? It's right there. Okay. So are you ready to transition from the old coins to the new coins? If you have no idea what that even means, you're really behind. Okay. But anytime it says there's a button, you see a button on the banner, that for sure, always click on it. So when you click on it, and if you haven't been here before, most likely the way it's supposed to be programmed anyway, is it should give you a chance to say yes or no about being ready to transition from old coins to new coins. And if you answer yes, then it will turn out something like this. We'll have your picture sitting there, and that your answer is yes. But right below that are the people that could be left behind. Because if they can't do a little thing like click one little button to say yes, right? I don't have a lot of confidence that they're going to do what they need to on a particular date that's going to come and go in a flash. It's a 24-hour period, guys. I'll come back to explaining why it's so short. But just understand, when we do this transition, it's going to happen in a 24-hour period. And if you don't click inside basically the same area here, then you're going to be left behind, and then you'll be holding the old coin and not the new coin. Okay. So we got all the people down here. 779 have said yes. Okay. So I see a Garfield. I see a Garfield Money right there. Good to see you there. I see Joe over here. Okay. So I see some people that they recently clicked yes. Good job. Good job. Okay. And then of course I believe pretty much this is the programmer here. That's not what he looks like, but I guess that's his white version of himself. Avatar, and that's me. So I was the first one to click, so I'm way down at the bottom here. Okay. So it's all done in order of who clicked when, right? So it kind of tells me who is really Johnny on the spot compared to those Johnny come latelys, over here. But in the 24-hour period, okay, we got to get everybody to do this. We have like 1,000 people. We got to move into the new coin, and we got to do it in a single day. So let me explain why it's in a single day. Okay. Come back to the account page. Isn't what we do already built on a 24-hour cycle, guys? We make payments every day, don't we? The button disappears for 20 hours. And then we can make our payment every 24 hours. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we don't
Yes.
want to stop this activity. We want this
Yes.
activity to continue without interruption, right? Because people are cash flowing. It's their cash flow we're talking about. And some people are cash flowing pretty good. We don't want to interrupt that, do we? We don't want to make people wait for their money because somebody else is late, right? We don't want to do that, do we? So we got to be
No.
coordinated. We got to be coordinated enough to make a couple of clicks on a website. So basically what happens is the coins in your wallet. Let me stop sharing for a second. Let me put my password in there. Okay. All right. So share screen. So what's going to happen is the smart contract is going to call for, it's going to know how much coin you got, right? Because like we already know that here, you can see the holding, and it already tells you what's in your wallet, right? So it knows that this is in my wallet right here, right? This first column here, what's sitting in the wallet right there. Okay. It knows what I got, and it's going to want to move all of it. Going to want to move all of that, and it's going to want to move it into your wallet here. Okay. So basically the tokens, these tokens, so the PFB, the PFG, the PFI, and the PFS, is the smart contract is going to receive all of those coins, okay, to be held, for 365 days. And it's just a couple of clicks to make it happen. But everybody's got to do it on the same day. Okay, super important. Any questions regarding the transition, how that's going to look and feel. Any questions about that? We're good? Okay. All right. Okay, so you got tremendous value here stacking up because let's face it, the ones that chose not to be cooperative, the ones that chose to be traders or whatever you want to call them, you know, you can call them traders or you can call them traitors. It depends on how you want to look at it. So, but they sucked the equity right out of equity liquidity out of our coins prematurely, kind of forcing us to go the route of creating new coins, replacement coins, if you will. Okay. To start anew. Okay. But this time, these new coins, when they launch, they're going to launch at the the first price target. So PFI is going to launch, and the value of it will be $500,000 on day one. There'll be a bunch of smart contracts, but nobody can sell anything, in those smart contracts for a whole year. Okay. And then, of course, people can buy the coin, but when they're buying the coin, how much are they buying? They're buying a little tiny little bit at the 500,000, $2 million, $4 million price, right? Just a tiny little bit. And so they're not going to really, interfere with what we're going to do, right? I mean, they'd have to be really tricky if they were trying to, create some sort of interference. But what would motivate that, right? Why interfere with it anyway? So we have a pretty good plan that we can secure our value. We can get our stuff together. We have a year to get our stuff together, okay? Which is going to include setting up a foundation, okay? And we're going to get everything all set. Everything's going to be beautiful. And we should be, by the time we complete that year, we should be right in the middle of, momentum, like massive, team growth, massive, the whole organization should be growing, right? I mean, I would hope we get to the point where we're doubling in size monthly for a while. Okay. How about that? Would you like to see our organization grow by double every month? Right. I believe we can do that.
Yes.
It's not going to happen forever. It's not going to be an ongoing doubling, right? You're going to run out of people on the earth, right? At some point, But for a period of time, we could do that. Maybe for 4 or 5, 6 months, we could be experiencing, our organization doubling in size, right in the heat of the momentum. If we can get that done, before the contracts open up, 365 days later, that'd be great. That'd be wonderful. So I do see your hand, Hunter, but I'm not gonna chase the squirrel yet. I'm gonna come back to you when I'm ready. Okay. So
I was just gonna say, do we want to start on the addresses now?
yeah, let's do that. Go ahead and open up the chat. Okay. And let's have people insert their wallet address for paid training today. Paid training worth $500 by the time it's what we could call spendable. Okay. So we're looking at the training that you're going to get. It's going to be spendable a year from now. The paid training. It's like a delayed gratification, deferred reward. There's lots of ways to look at it, but the bottom line is you're getting paid handsomely to be here and pay attention to what we're talking about and get trained. So enjoy that. And I think that's going to be a nice feature ongoing. Okay. But it's going to make a lot more sense when we're paying, like in PFG, when the value's at, well, we could pay in any one of our coins. Like we could be paying in, for example, in PFB coin, when the value is way over $1 million, per coin, and still do the same thing. But there's a lot more coins available in PFB than there is in PFG. Okay. There's only 10,000 PFG coins, but there's 1 million PFB coins. The problem is the PFB price is too low right now. So share my screen. and go to the here. So right now, PFB is $1,300 right now. Okay. I mean, I 1,400. I don't want to pay $50 units out of that small number. So that's why we're using PFG. There's only 10,000 of these coins, but I've got more wiggle room here with that current price there. Okay. The other thing I want you guys to realize is that the sellers are running out of ammunition. Some of you are worried about that. I understand. Okay. But let's take a look. We got even greater transparency today than we ever had before. So let's just start with PFI, for example. Okay. So you can see right here, that the stockpile there, that's an administrative thing. That's why you see the contract there. So the contracts show where there's administration. And so we don't care that if it's an administration and it says no, no, no here, that doesn't matter because it's not being used by a seller potentially. It's an administrative coin. Okay. The next one here, I know who she is. It's all yeses across the board, so she's not going to sell. Okay. The 25 here, well, I know who he is, and it's all yeses again, except for right there. There's a no on that, but I understand what's going on there, and we have an agreement, with that. So solid there. Same thing with 22 coins there and 21 coins there. These are all yeses here. So we don't have to worry about these people that said yes, right? And we got another administrative wallet right there. Okay, so doesn't concern us. It says no. We got yes, yes, and then the first one here, 9. Okay. So I believe this is also an administrative wallet. If I'm not mistaken, but the programmer's got to add it. I think it's this one over here. Let me take a look. Yep, yep. So this is also an administrative wallet here. So this is where we've got our the coins that we're using for our promo. Okay, so that's our newest promo. The whales are pretty excited about that. And let's see here. Back to here. Okay. So that's actually that should have a contract on it, but maybe later today it will. Okay. So again, it's all yeses and yeses and yeses, and all the way down to right here. We got somebody with 4 coins, but they're showing up as a no right there, that they're not active. I know I got Nancy, who is our well liaison, chasing after that person right now. It's like, hey, what's going on? Okay. You want to get active, at least in the $1 pool. You're a whale after all, That's the first 20. But if we go to the first 25, okay, we got a contract here. No, we've got all yeses here. So pretty much the first 25, pretty solid group. Okay. We don't expect anybody to sell there. The next 25. Okay. This is how you go through it. This is how you can look. What do you guys think of this level of transparency here? What do you guys think about that?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it.
So you get a pretty good indication
Excellent.
here that you don't have to worry about people that are holding a lot of coin. You really don't really need to worry about those people, selling, because if you're a whale, why would you sell? For goodness sake, right? Or if you're almost a whale, why would you sell? Like, the next 25 would be from 50 to 75, right? You're going to again see lots of yeses, okay, and also some contracts, okay. And then you go to the next 25, which would be 76 to 100, right? It's mostly yeses, but again, this is a no right here. They've only got 0.37 of a coin, so they don't even have a whole coin. So no, no, no. So at the current price, the current geez, it's in the way. There it is, PFI. So $1,430, you get 37% of that. Okay, yeah, you might be able to sell, and you might be able to collect, maybe, I don't know, something like that might be $200, something like that. Okay. But that's pennies, right? That's just pennies compared to what you get if you just transition with us, right? We encourage everybody to be smart here. And again, Nancy actually is the well liaison. She is contacting everybody that's showing up as a no in the top 100. We want to nail down the top 100 because they got the majority of the coin. That makes sense, right, guys? Okay.
Yes.
It's numerical, right? So the top holders are at the top of the numeric numbers, right? So Nance is chasing after everybody that's no in the top 100 and saying, "Hey, come on, get with the program. You got a lot you got a lot to gain here. And way more to gain by cooperating than what you could get otherwise by just trying to do your own thing." Okay. And then you get past the 100. How's it look after that? So I'm just looking at PFI just as one example of this exercise here. Okay. So now we're looking at 101 to 125. And what do we see? We see mostly yeses here, right? We do see some nos. I'm going to go a little slower. But hey, mostly yeses, right? Mostly yeses. Mostly yeses. But again, how much ammo do they really have, right? How much ammo do they really have? Especially at the low prices these coins are sitting at the moment, okay? Not very much ammo, okay? So yeah, the prices are going to go up a little bit at a time here until the transition. I'm not expecting it to leap at this point because, that just encourages the sellers to sell. But at the low prices, that they sell, they're literally selling for pennies. I mean, literally. It's sad, but we see it's still happening every day. But at some point, they just are going to run out. And at some point, we just leave them behind anyway. We're going to leave them behind. Okay. Because they've chosen not to cooperate. But for those that do cooperate, you have like a very bright future. You are going to be like the most admired when you think about the future, let's say 1 million members, okay? You guys, the first 1,000 here, okay? You're going to be the most admired, and you're going to have a lot of admiration coming from the future members that join us because they're really looking up to you, looking at how well positioned you are because you got so much coin, and you have a knowledge base that's very strong because you came to training, that kind of thing. And that's why we're paying you to show up. I mean, I'd love to pay I'd love to pay 1,000 of you every training, but we just have to get to the point where it's all balanced. So the other thing you got to keep in mind is the PML promo. Okay. So let's take a look at that chart. Let's move over to the other sister website coin, the Pool Micro Lending website coin. So you got it's 500,000, okay? And we want to get back to 1.2 million. That's where we were before, okay? But we were there before, right? And what is it going to take? Well, based on my experience, it's probably going to take if we had no selling at all, period whatsoever, then it would take about $5,000 to move it from where it's sitting currently to where we're back up to the 1.2 million. Okay. But based on the fact that I only see 150 here in the training with the capacity of 300 people can be here, then that's probably because the people that aren't qualified for paid training, they're probably not showing up because they don't really see the true value here being the training itself. Okay. Not the pay. The pay is just a bonus. It's just the icing on the cake or the cherry on top, however you want to look at it. The real value is the training itself, right? Which is more like picking up on an energy. right? Because you don't come here to take notes. It's not like a classroom like that. It's more like picking up on a vibration. Do you get my drift, guys? You got to be
Yes.
vibing.
Yes,
You got to be
absolutely.
vibrating with us, right?
Awesome.
If you pick up on the vibration,
Yes.
you're going to get rich. Okay. This is what we're putting out here. The signal we're putting out is wealth, abundance, wealth, prosperity, abundance, wealth. Make you rich, get you rich, make you rich, get there fast, make it happen now. Okay.
Yes.
That's the vibration. Okay. You show up to pick up on the vibration because when you leave here, have you noticed that your vibration can go down? Okay. Have you noticed that? And then you come here to get lifted up, right? And that could be how your day could swing. I hope you're all feeling the good vibes by coming here. Okay. Because it's not like you're learning like like it's not like you're taking a math class or something like that where you're just learning all kinds of stuff. It's more like you come here to get the feel of where your future is going. Okay. It's going to go there. You keep showing up, is you're going to arrive at the right future, the desired outcome. All right, so there's, as far as I can tell, maybe there's 150 people that have taken advantage of the promo to turn $100 into $200 instantly on the market by taking advantage of our promo, the PML promo. And that's required if you want to get paid training. Okay. If you want paid training, then you got to help provide you got to bring in some buying pressure here to our PML coin. Every time you participate in our promo, it's putting positive buying pressure on the price of our coin. So if we do the math, $5,000, and we need, and basically we got $100 every time someone takes advantage of the promo, they're putting $100 into the market. So what is the math? So 5,000 divided by 100, that's 50, right? If just 50 of you that haven't done it yet, and maybe I'm talking to people that are watching this on YouTube right now, maybe not you that are here, but if you're catching this on YouTube and you haven't come in here and gone to the training qualification and clicked on the promo page and made the purchase on the market here to get $200 of PML at a cost of only $100 of USDT. If you haven't done that yet, then you should do it. Okay. And if that's a lot of money for you, then find a way to get it. Okay. Remember, all limitations are self-imposed. Never believe you can't do something. Always believe that where there's a will, there's a way. And find that will first, and then the way will show up. Okay? You'd be surprised how the universe responds. Okay, so we don't need 1,000 of you to do it. What would happen if 1,000 people went in there and paid $100? That'd be $100,000. What would happen to the price? Okay. If $5,000 can get us to 1.2 million, what would $100,000 do to the price of PML? Think about it. So the price is gonna go up. We're gonna have that solid buying pressure. People should want and desire paid training. Why not? At $500 a whack, why not? Why not? That's a good deal. So let's make sure we're getting our messaging straight when we're talking to our people and saying, hey, do you really want to let $100 today get in a way of $500 again and again and again tomorrow? You really want that to get in the way? Do you? And if you're using the word can't, remember that was your decision, not the universe. The universe always says yes. You're the one that says no. Okay, that's what I learned. Just when you think that something's not possible, you find out that it is possible. I mean, eventually we'll all be walking on water when we really figure it out. Okay. I'm telling you guys, we got the power. We just had to stop limiting ourselves. Stop agreeing to something where it calls for limitation. By the way, I feel like there's a big energy surge coming in to Earth, and it's being measured by scientists, by the way. They're measuring it, by the way. And they're saying it could go 10x in the next couple of days. So I hope you guys are ready for it. The high vibration is coming in. the Schumann resonance. Okay, pay attention to that, because that does in fact affect all of us on the planet. When the Schumann resonance goes up, my expectation is consciousness should go up, and with consciousness comes, power, amazing power. And again, rediscover what you are, a multidimensional being experiencing the human experience. But believe it or not, that doesn't mean that you're limited. It just means that it's a package, but it's not really a package that's designed to be infinitely limiting. It's actually kind of the opposite of that, So anyway, so that's exciting, and I think that you should take a look at that. I've been watching it, and we're seeing that, from our sun, the coronal mass ejections. They're pretty impressive. There's other things out there I won't talk about right now, but there's stuff going on, guys, and it's happening right now. It's happening here in the last week of October, and it will energetically affect you. I promise you, in a good way if you let it. Okay. Now, if you're fear-based, you might find this period of time very agitating. Okay, because it's actually the opposite. Okay. If you're fear-based and the vibration starts, coming in really hot, in your fear-based and your low vibration, okay, you might get a little irritable. Okay. But hopefully the rise in consciousness will get you thinking about that. Why are you irritable? And maybe you are in the way of you, and you need to get out of your own way, right? Just make some better choices on what you believe and start receiving the blessing that's there for everyone anyway. I really believe that we're all supposed to come down here and have a good time. I mean, what would be the point of going somewhere you couldn't have a good time? Why even go there, right? So I think we all came here because we wanted to have a good time. But some of us got confused along the way because we forgot everything when we came in here. And because of forgetting, we got sidetracked, and we started to buy into the negativity that's out there, and the negative programming that goes with it. And you start adopting these self-limiting beliefs. Okay. You need to shed them. Anytime you can identify a self-limiting belief, like I can't come up with $100 to take advantage of that PML coin. I don't have $100 that I can buy $100 of PML through the promo and get $200 of PML and then get paid $500 for training after that. I can't do that. Self-limiting belief. That's the only thing going on there. Okay. If you got a team below you, above you, beside you, and they're saying they can't do that, you need to remind them that, hey, you're the boss of you. I'm the boss of me. And your boss sucks. Okay. So, if you're going to be full of self-limiting belief, you suck. Okay. And that's your choice. And I'm telling you to your face, you suck. So you can do something about that now that I made you aware how much you suck. Now you can change that. You can say, oh, it's just a choice. And then receive what the universe has to offer. Because if you just say, I don't know where, I don't know how, I don't know in what means, or that somehow this $100 is just going to somehow become available. It's going to come into my possession somehow, some way, so that I can take advantage of this promo, so that I can get that paid training, so that I can support the rising price of that PML coin, which is kind of critical to our PML website. Okay. Now, if you can make that change now, and again, I'm really preaching to the choir here. Pretty much all of you have already done this. I'm not, those of you that are here live, I'm not talking to you. I'm not even talking at you. I'm talking through you to the teams around you. Okay. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm getting you equipped with messaging that will be passed through to your team. Okay. Your team needs to know they should stop limiting themselves. Okay. All right. And, it's a never ending thing. Okay. You're going to find, one thing after another where you've put limitations on yourself. And so you're going to have an opportunity again and again and again. And when you're walking on water, we can celebrate that day together. Okay. Because once you get to that point, you're actually walking on water. Okay. Then you've let all those self-limiting beliefs go. And now you're walking on water. Right. Because that's really what it comes down to. Okay. This physical reality is not nearly as physical as you think it is. It's more of a mental construct. Okay. That's the truth of the matter. And, the quantum science kind of backs that up, time, space, and thought. There really isn't a difference. Think about that. What's going on in your brain there? Okay. Thought, time and space and thought, they're pretty much the same thing. Okay. Think about it. It's just space is just an idea. Time is just an idea. That's not the true reality. The true reality is consciousness. That's prime reality. Okay. And then the physical thing is just a playground. It's a fun place to go if we do it the right way. But if you come down here and you're poor and you're being beat up and you're going through all kinds of suffering, wow, why? Why not make some choices, make a few changes, maybe, some of us do want to suffer certain things just so that we can maybe grow certain aspects of our spirit or soul or whatever. And so suffering is not necessarily a bad thing in that light. But if you're one that's suffering and then you hate it, you're like, if you got any kind of suffering going on and you hate it and you're just like, I don't like this, I don't want this, dig into your self-limiting beliefs around it. I'm serious. Okay. I mean, lately, I'm learning how to do a lot of things that kind of fall in the category of self-healing. Okay. I'm taking it to that level. In fact, I'm going as far to think that I'm going to develop this as a skill. I want to be a healer. I want to lay hands and heal, not in demonic ways by people might think, but no, in a way that's full of light. Okay, full of all that's good. Okay, divinity, tapping into the truth, tapping into divinity. So that's it. All right, I'm getting way out there. Bring it back. Okay, so PML. Let's go back to here for a minute. And let me share my screen. Share screen. But you can see where I go. You can see where I'm thinking. I'm challenging all of you to just open up to the idea of letting go any kind, any category of self-limiting belief. Okay, any category. Even if it seems like completely impossible to you right now, consider the idea of what could be possible. Okay. Because we've had plenty of way showers that have come, showing us different things. Okay. PML, that's our chart. The website is here. Okay. If we go to the Lend page here, and we're backed up on this lenders pool. We're backed up here by thousands right at the moment. Okay. So here's my concern. what I want to do is I want to go guarantee, 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 guarantee. I'd like to sweep through there and just, send everybody $100 that's backed up. And then basically, because I'm the supplier, I got plenty of PML coin. I could easily do that. But the problem is the market price. What I do needs to be done in a way that I'm not having a negative impact on the market price for multiple reasons, but pretty obvious reasons. Okay. So here's what I've come up with for the guarantee so I can clear out that pipeline. I'm going to have the programmer set it up so that you make a commitment, okay? A solid commitment that comes with penalties if you violate it, okay? A commitment that you won't sell the PML coin outside of any signal. Okay, so the signal is basically don't sell right now, but if the signal goes where you can sell, usually you get an amount, like you can sell $20 right now until the signal changes back to no, right? So as long as you're following the signal, if you make a commitment, so what I'm going to try and set it up so that if you're willing to make that commitment that you're not going to sell, then you can maybe click and then turn your order that hasn't been taken by a borrower yet, and boom, get $100 of PML. What do you guys think about that?
Yes, please.
Love it.
Love that.
All
Yes.
right,
Love
okay.
it, love it.
Because I need that commitment before I start throwing $100 bills out there. Okay. Because, we already see what happens with the few that, abuse that. But we got to know who you are. We're going to be taking pictures of you and things like that. So, all that's important. We got to identify who we're working with. And you can't have multiple accounts, so, another reason to take a picture of you, stuff like that. So that's also true for our PML website. So that's going to be an up and coming solution very, very soon. Okay, very, very soon. But not today, because right now we've got a lot of anxious members who put in bug reports, some of them as many as like 4 weeks ago, that haven't been resolved yet. And so guess what today is? Today is debug day, okay? So pretty much the entire effort of our programmer today is going to be debugging, okay? So that's what's going to happen today. And that should make the handful of you that have been dealing with your bugs, whatever, it should make you happy to know that we're putting our attention on it, because when we're in the middle of building something, we don't like to do debugging and building at the same time. They really are separate things. The attention's got to be really focused. Okay. And by the way, we did set up a really nice promo recently for the wells, and we did use what do you call it, an auditor. So we had the smart contract that we put together audited by a very reputable company. Okay. So that did happen, just like I said it would. So we're feeling pretty good about everything in that regard. But yeah, today's a debug day. I hope you can wipe most of those bugs out today. It's not like there's thousands of them. I think we're, in the tens area. I don't think we got 100 bugs, but I think we got less than 100 bugs. So we're in the tens, whatever that might be. And a lot of them are the same. Like some of your, they're mostly using like a PC. If you're using a PC instead of a Mac, well, first of all, shame on you. No, just joking. I'm a Mac guy. You didn't know. But anyway, if you're using a PC and you try to access the holding page, what I'm referring to is this page here on our website, our pool funding website, and it shows up like white, okay, like turns like a sheet of snow. Where's it at? Here. You come here to the holding page, and instead of seeing these beautiful numbers and everything, and the buttons down below here, okay, all these buttons down here, okay, you just see nothing but white. Well, that's a bug many of you have reported. So we can probably wipe out 15, 20 bugs from that alone. But apparently it's mostly people using PC that are encountering that. The other thing I noticed is it's not really cell phone friendly the way this chart is made. You can't see this section over here, and so that's got to be fixed too. But making it so you can see it is step one, and we'll come back around to recoding the layout of the page so that this thing should just be able to slide back and forth either direction. So that's just one example of a bug that bothering a lot of you, because you want to see that page. It's valuable information on that page. Okay, I get it. So the next time you're going to buy a computer, think twice. Mac or PC. Joke. Anyway,
Or Linux.
what's that?
Or Linux.
Yeah, Linux has got no software. Anyway, so that's that. So that's the we want to see the price go up. If we had about 50 of you take advantage of the promo, that can get our price back up to that 1.2 million. We get hundreds of you taking advantage of the promo, then I can open up and you guys can sell PML. That's what we want. We want you to be able to sell PML. That's the exit into paper money, right? That's the whole point of that website. But we need that positive buying pressure. Okay, we don't have much buying pressure right now. This promo at $100 a whack in the market, that should put a significant amount of buying pressure on there. And then the main drive being that people want to get paid training, $500 a whack. But one thing we keep running into, self-limiting beliefs coming from our members. They don't realize they found a home where they can be free of self-limiting beliefs. Okay, let them go. All right. Now I'm ready for hands. Anybody got anything they'd like to talk about that might be relevant to what we talked about today? First of all, let's stay on point if we can. Anybody want to do a shout out? Okay, Lindsay, go ahead. Good to see you from Australia. How you doing, Lindsay?
Hey Ace, there's Dad over here too.
Hi, Dad. Hey, Dad. How you doing? Speaking of
Ace,
Dad,
what
I'll
an
talk about
awesome,
my dad in a minute there. But go ahead.
yeah. What an awesome message. That your message earlier was just that amazing, really heartfelt, and I know that all of us are just thinking of you at the moment, thinking and praying for you, Ace, and with what you're going through.
Yeah,
You're such a lovely man. You have a beautiful heart, and we all love you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. What am I going through?
We,
Well,
as in all of us on the call, not just me and Dad, but yeah, everybody. I'm sure you can feel it in the chat.
oh, for sure, 100%. Appreciate that. Yeah, this is a picture that's, about 6 or 7 years old. This is when my dad, when he was in his 80s, he came for a visit in his late 80s. I flew him out, all expense paid trip for Dad to come to the Philippines to be with me for a couple of months. And yeah, he had a good time when he was here. And but I got contacted by family saying that he's not doing well. So I talked with him yesterday. He doesn't sound good when I talked to him. First time ever that he didn't sound good to me. And so I've decided that I'm going to go fly and go see him. I'm going to leave Philippines on Saturday to go see my dad, who's in California, and spend some time with him and see how that goes. So, yeah, without getting into all personal information, just he's going to be 96 years old in December of this year, and yeah, we were all rooting that he'd be one of those guys that makes it to 100, but it's not looking that way right now, So, you start seeing certain things go, yeah, that's a long time to wait, 4 years. So, all right, Joe, buddy, how you doing, Joe?
Hey, I'm doing great. And thank you for sharing that about your father. And, it is very emotional. My mother passed away this year well, she passed away recently. She was 97,
Wow.
so had a great life.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and I wanted to, once again, Lindsay beat me to it. Way to go, Lindsay. Again, the message that is always coming clear to all of us from you is a mindset of abundance, just feeling, your vibrational feeling. If you are worried and troubled and you've got some things going on that you just feel that uh, you can rise above that, and you can, it's like flipping a switch,
Yeah, it
and
is.
you can flip a switch and make changes, and it can be done just little at a time. Whenever you catch yourself saying something that's negative, stop and correct it, put a positive on it, and then leave that negative behind and say goodbye to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, all these messages that you put out to us are wonderful. They're very human, and we all feel that. So I just wanted to give you my feelings on that.
Thanks,
And
Joe.
yeah,
I had a feeling you'd be wanting to say something there, Joe.
and hi to Alan too.
There he is. He's always here with us. He just doesn't
Right.
like being on camera.
Well, I see him I see Alan Bond here on the first screen. So
Yeah, first time that we've actually used. Yeah.
he's getting paid to be here, right?
Yeah, I should have been doing it like ages ago. I just thought of it. Actually,
That's pretty cool.
Graham suggested it. I didn't think.
Yeah.
We don't like missing any of your calls, Ace. We always love being here when we're able.
Yeah, Pole Funding is a family in itself, So you're part of a great family here, a growing family, a family of people like Lindsay and like Joe, right? Like Hunter and all these other people you see on the front screen here. I mean, I'm looking at some of you. There's 6 screens I'd have to flip through, but all of you
Yeah,
that
so
are
many.
present, like there's around 150 of you that chose to be here. And I think that you're probably the best of what we've got so far because you're here. That's an indication that you're the best. And but you too need to know and be reminded that you can always have a better life. And it's not about comparison as much as it's inspiration to just flip the switch, as Joe was talking about. Just make that choice to say, you know what? I'm letting that self-limiting belief go. I'm going to adopt a new belief instead. And just switch it out. Switch out your beliefs, and give yourself a permission slip to do whatever you want, whenever you want, so that you can enjoy life. You came down here to enjoy yourself. That's really the point. If you're going through some other experience other than enjoyment, I'd question it. Why? How come? You know, and maybe something could be done about it, you know? I've been through some things recently, personally, that, I've had to question myself and like, why is this happening for me? And is it something I want ongoing? And some of the things I'm like, no. Like I had some definite no. We gotta like put a stop to that. And I've been dealing with it just by working it out. It's an act of consciousness. Okay, consciously working things out. Sometimes I use my hands, to work things out. But we have these instruments for a reason. So they're here for a reason. We should use them to do some good things for ourselves, for others, and wherever we can. Sherry Anderson's joining in on the conversation. Go ahead from Australia, Sherry Anderson.
I just want to say, I just love this community. Like, I can't wait to get on calls every week. I think it is awesome. And I really hope that a lot of people are feeling the same because I think it's important to have that connection with people. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Well, you're a fantastic leader, Sherry. You're awesome. You got a lot of people looking up to you. So you're very much appreciated. Thank you for being here.
Welcome. I love being here.
All right. Well, so that's it, guys. I think we got the message clear that we have the power to move the price of our coins up. And I'll be wrapping up with Graham. And let me just finish his thought. We have the power to move our coins up to where we want them to be. We have the power to do this transition in a smooth manner. This is what our attention is right now. Okay, we like PML to get up to where it was, but 1.2 million, and then go beyond. We like to fill up our training with people excited about receiving paid training, realizing we're talking $500 a whack here. Yeah, it's a lot. And you know, we we really don't have anything holding us back except for ourselves. And just always remember that. Anytime you start pointing the finger that somebody else is holding you back, that's a big mistake. Okay, the blame game is basically the power game. Do you want to hold your power or you want to give it away? So if you ever blame anyone for anything, you're giving your power away. Does that make sense, guys? That makes
Yes.
sense. Right? So instead, take full responsibility for everything that you're experiencing. Show some gratitude towards it. Even the negative experiences are things that we should be grateful for, because it's the sum total, right? We should be appreciative for both the salt and the pepper, all of it, right? We should be happy with everything, okay? And just realize that through gratitude we can find joy, okay? And that's what when I say enjoy yourself, it's about going into joy. That's what the point is, okay? You're hitting the bullseye when you're heading towards joy, okay? If you got a lot of money, that just makes the ride a smoother ride, okay? For joy, that can just smooth out some of the bumps otherwise. But everything can work for your benefit, your health, your wealth, your relationships. I mean, it's a package deal. Life is a complicated thing, but it's also a simple thing at the same time. It's weird, right? It's a paradox. It can be so complicated, yet so simple. If we just center around the love, it's simple. We start looking at each little aspect in its own little container, it gets complicated. That's what I mean, okay? But bring it all together, love everything, love everyone, and just especially love yourself. Never exclude yourself in that of love, you know. One of the things I've recently started developing is a relationship with my own body. I'm starting to see my body as like it's not the real me. My body is actually its own thing, and it's got its own consciousness, and it's got its own whatever you want to call it, right? It's its own thing. The real me, the one inside the body, you know what I'm saying? That's where I'm really focused on being present with my real self, okay? And I'm starting to look at my body as like someone I need to actually love better. I can love my body better. I can do better. You know, I look at my little dogs, my chihuahuas, how I love them so much. I should have kind of the same kind of relationship with my own body. And I start to see that maybe I haven't done such a good job in loving my own body that way. And the body is almost like a very submissive child, if you think about it. You know, it's very childlike in the sense that it just goes along with whatever you, the one inside, is trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of goes along with it for the most part. But it also has its whatever, just like a child, you know. So, but the thing is, the body the body just naturally, cares for the you, the real you. Okay, the one in the body loves you. But do you love your body? That's something I see that I can improve on. That's where that's my most recent development, if you will. Is I'm going to put more attention on that. Now seeing what's going on with my dad, this is sharpening that focus for me. That's a little personal information for you. All right, Graham, let's wrap up with your thoughts. What's on your mind?
All right, I've actually got a question, but before I ask my question, I just want to reiterate basically what Sherry, Joe, and Lindsay have said. Fully agree. The buzz we get from those Zoom calls is awesome. I also want to say to you too, obviously I messaged you last night. I'm glad you've made the call to go back to see Dad. I hope you have a safe trip and you get some quality time.
Yeah.
Now, my question. If we're going to use PML to get rid of some of the backlog on the lending side,
Yeah.
is that PML going to be available to use to be exchanged, or do you just want to lock it up completely for a while?
Anything over 6,000 will have the power to exchange it either manually or through the exchange when we bring it back online. That was the whole intent of it before it got violated the way it got violated, and then we had to put that in maintenance mode. But I promised anyone that's got over $6,000, in PML. Some of you have like almost $3,000 of PML right now, but when the price goes up to 1.2 million, it's going to be 6,000 or more, right?
Yeah.
That's the threshold. I'd like you to hang on to 6,000 because that could create a nice reoccurring $3,000 a month, income. The whole point is that if PML succeeds the way I want it to succeed, we're at some point we have that price stability where we just leave it on, where you can just sell what you want to sell when you want to sell on the market, no problem, because price stability has been achieved, right? But that doesn't happen without positive buying pressure. That's why this promotion is going to go on forever. This promotion of buy $100 of PML, get $200 of PML instantly, and then it gives you one of the criteria of paid training. It meets one of the criteria, that package. That's going to go on forever. Okay, we're going to do that forever because I think it's going to work forever. And that's where we can get a lot of positive buying pressure. We should also get positive buying pressure from, future lenders who come in like, how much money do you want to double? You ask that question. Well, I want to double thousands of dollars every month. Okay, great. Then go buy thousands of dollars from a PML on the market, and then you'll be set. Go ahead and start using that to double, right? So that's also buying pressure. And then ultimately, even the borrowers, should be buying PML to pay off their loans. So that this is where the buying pressure comes from. But yeah, to answer your question, really clear. Yes, the whole point is we want you to be able to convert that to pool funding coins if it's over $6,000 in value. Okay. Anything over that you can convert. And I'm just saying wait until the price hits where I believe we're going to get back to 1.2. So at least wait till that point and then come and look to do something with it at that point. And then that way you have more pool funding coin transitioning to the new coin. Which is great, right, Graham? That's exciting stuff.
No, I only asked the question because obviously a lot of us missed doing that because of what happened. So
yep.
We move forward.
That's it. All right. Getting a suggestion. Why not run a promotion? But I'm always open to ideas, so we can. I just don't want to make this a forever meeting. So I thought we are going to end on Graham, but Carrie raised her hand, and love you, Carrie. Go ahead. What's up? Out of time.
Sorry, Ace. Graham opened a can of worms, so I just wanted to ask a question. The PML coin, obviously after it was compromised, there was a lot of selling going on. It seems like those sellers are still very active. Is there anything we can do about them after the audit, or are they just always going to be there?
Yeah, what I want to do is I definitely want to start identifying who's using the website. So, we've developed tools for pool funding that we need to apply those same tools into the PML website. So like pictures being taken, all that stuff. No one should have more than one account, stuff like that. That way we restrict people down to what is, fair and just for all of us, right? So, and no one's got some unfair advantages going on. And then it's just a matter of ammunition. And so anybody who's just silly enough that they want to sell, if they've got less than $6,000 of PML and they want to sell some of it, that's silly. You're cutting into your machine to double money monthly. If you got less than $6,000 and you want to sell some of it, you're cutting into your own machine to double money monthly. That's just, I'm going to say it out loud. That's just stupid. Okay? That's just stupid. And anybody that is stupid, that does stupid things, they say stupid is as stupid does, right? So yeah, some people have identified themselves and we put their picture up and say, here's another one, and maybe they don't get it. We're pointing it out because we're asking them to change, right? Whatever's in their way for them not to see this the right way, they're trying to grab those little few pennies right now when they should be working with us to reach in and get all the abundance that we're offering. We're offering daily cash flow. We're offering ability to accumulate money now. That's our main focus, by the way. And then the wealth creation, that should be left alone to appreciate it as equity. But yeah, do we have some bad actors, Carrie? The answer is yes. Yeah, we have some bad actors that we need to identify them and maybe at first nicely get rid of them. And if that doesn't work, then we can get mean. Okay, so we'll start out nice and then we'll ratchet until we get rid of the people that want to be bad actors, right? We don't need them. Sound good?
Thank you. Thank you, Ace. Have a good trip and good luck for your trip with your dad.
I got a couple more meetings before I'm leaving, so I'm not going to leave till Saturday. So Saturday. Yeah, I was thinking of heading out to Thailand, but then this came up. So everything happens for a reason. So
Family first.
Absolutely.
Pop into Australia on your way back.
Someone's asking me, you're going to be in California. I'm in California. Well, yeah, of course. Chances are, if you're in California, I'm probably going to come see you on this trip. There's a good chance if you're well and you're in California, pretty good chance I'm going to come see you. Okay, while I'm there anyway. You'll be not that far away. Might be a road trip here and there, or might be a little quick flight in, flight out, kind of whatever is the easiest thing to do to come see the whales. So I want to be there with all of you. You guys are the most important part of what we're doing here, and I really want to support you because you support us. So I want to support you because you're supporting us, the whales. All right, very good. Thank you all for coming to another one of our paid trainings. This one was a little bit longer one, but I think it full of really good juice, something worth sharing to your team and say, it's long, but it's good, right? Maybe we make that the title. This one's a long one, but a good one, right? That could be the title today. Long but good. So how about everybody's unmute and say long but good.
Good.
Long but good.
Long but good.
Long but good.
Long game.
Long but good.
All right. Thank you so much.
Hey, Ace, before you go,
Peace.